Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Falx Hunter here, bringing you a different type of hunting experience, one that you can download to your phone. This is American Marksman, and this can be picked up either in the Google Play Store or on the Apple App Store as well. Now, the first thing the game asks you to do is to choose the region you want to hunt in, and they offer you 4 choices: the Rocky Mountains, Southeastern, Northern, and Southwestern. I went ahead and chose Southeastern because that's where I live and that's what I'm used to, and I just kind of wanted to see what that was about. And then suddenly you're gifted with a random lever action rifle by Crazy Eddie's, which is fine by me. Once you receive your random gift, you spawn on your farm, which looks like a little tiny modest house that could use a little love, which the options in the lower left should take care of. Then you have the in-game resources and currency and game modes in the top right. I familiarized myself with these things a little later. But when you're ready, you click hunt and it takes you to some options. Some look intense, but I just did free hunt to get my feet under me. Then there's a menu for things like hardcore mode and options to join multiplayer. But I like to play by myself, so that's what I did. Hello world, you're not ready for a well-seasoned hunter like me. And as soon as I figure out the run, jump, and crouch mechanics, I will be a force to be reckoned with. Now, we found a herd of whitetails pretty quickly, but they spooked almost right away. Darn it. So we turned our attention to this little fella who honestly looks kind of like a Twiggy. We watched him for a little while, noting the beautiful gold bars floating in the background, until I decided that I had the opportunity to take a pretty awesome shot. And there he goes, blood droplet and all. That lets you know that he's been wounded, whereas the triangle that appears above his head will let you know just how wounded. Each side of the upside down triangle represents a certain degree, and I got 2, which means he's close to death, but not quite. And there he goes, down and out for the count. I really appreciate the cute little death skull that appears over them. Not to mention the blood trail animatic. That's pretty awesome too. So when we got around to picking this guy up, we got to see exactly where we placed our shots, how rare he is, his gender, his weight, all the things you would expect out of a really nice hunting game. It also gave you an option to either sell immediately or collect and sell later, which I highly recommend because you definitely get more money out of that. I don't know why they expect you to lug a giant dead animal around for a while, but whatever, it's worth a few extra bucks. So once he faded away, we got to collecting some resources, including this money box just floating around, which gave us 317 smackaroons. Then we sighted the greatest of all cats, the mountain lion. And you know that triangle that floats over their heads? Well, I was able to get a clearer picture of what that's for. And as I waited off in the distance, I didn't do much, but just observed as it filled up with yellow, indicating that the animal was in cautionary mode and eventually into fleeing mode. So that tells you just how much awareness that the animal has of you at any given time. Then we sighted this beautiful whitetail buck that just came into view, and after observing him for a few minutes and getting lined up on our shot, we unfortunately took the shot just a little bit too early and spooked him off. Well, that was fun. After a brief chase, we did find him again, and this time we were able to lay one directly in him with no problems. Hello, you might want to take off running. And for a moment he just seemed to stand there, bleeding out. But when I got closer, he did take off, and we had to go running after him one more time. Luckily, they make the blood trails easy to follow. Just like before, this guy was decently hurt, but needed at least one more shot to fully bring him down. Perfect! Now, on the journey to pick this guy up, we had a couple of magical things happen, like a random spawn-in by an elk herd, and the appearance of this magic wall that we couldn't seem to get across. I'm guessing that was the edge of the map, but we followed it until we found our prey. And here he is, not a super bad looker if you ask me myself. He's a white-tailed deer with a rareness of 65.7. I really wonder what that means. It's probably having to do something with his size or his fur color, but he's 168 pounds. Pure awesome. Just look at that rack. I also really appreciate the attempt at an X-ray view so we can see exactly where our shots do land. In this case, they didn't land all that well, and I haven't hit a vital organ to date. But of course we got him, and yes, we are gonna lug him around for spare change. Why not? Now at this point, I decided to go back to my farm to see what else this game has to offer. I did take a look at my trophies, and they looked pretty awesome. And I went ahead and sold them for that extra bit of money, so potentially I could do something with my homestead. I took a look at what all the other amenities have to offer, and that included the Homestead supply store, which allows you to customize some aspects of your home, basically decorate it, if you will, with things like tractors or furniture like couches. You could buy a whole kitchen in here, but it felt a little bit like The Sims in a way, where you could really kind of do up your space and make it look cool. But then there was also the gun shops, and you have everything from Crazy Eddie's to Apex firearms, all of which showcase different weapon qualities and customization and that sort of thing. At the trading post, you could even get a Hello Kitty rip-off gun, which was pretty interesting. There was definitely a lot of different options for a lot of different loadouts. You could get bolt actions, you could get lever actions, you could get AR styles. It just depends on how you want to look when you play the game. However, each weapon also has its own degree of damage, accuracy, loudness, and recoil, so you want to pay attention to what it is exactly you're buying. Each weapon, of course, has its pros and cons, and while I didn't go into any one very carefully, you can see some of them up here on the screen. You're also required to buy ammo for every gun that you purchase. I was very happy to see my 30-06 in there floating around somewhere, so that will be on my short list of things to purchase. So the last thing I messed around with was the actual hunter customization, and there really wasn't much you could do other than change the clothing. I didn't see an option to change the genders, so I guess I'm stuck playing as baby Remy Warren, which I've always played as in Call of the Wild, so that's not too much skin off my nose. But you did get a variety of customization options, everything from outerwear, pants, shoes, gloves, hair, beard, hat, backpack, which is a pretty broad range for a phone game focused on hunting. So I wasn't too disappointed in this. I would like to see some gender options in the future, but the only thing that took me aback was when I accidentally clicked the guy's shirt off. Whoa. In the end, I was able to create a hunter that I was pretty happy with. He looks pretty generic, and I think I'll take him on a couple of more hunts in the future.
Dad?
That's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you'll go ahead and download American Marksman and give it a chance. I do want everybody to know that this was not a sponsored video. This is just based on my personal gameplay, and it's a pretty good game if you don't have time to jump on your console or your personal computer and you just want to kill some time or kill some animals, but it's definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy coming along on these review adventures, please consider dropping a like and subscribing below. You can also ring that bell for when new content drops and stay in the know, and I will catch you in our next video. Bye!